One moment I was walking down a normal hallway. The next, the walls were wrong. The lights buzzed like they were alive. The air smelled damp, metallic, and ancient. Every corner I turned, every door I opened, it felt like something was following me. This is the story of how I got lost in the back rooms. Chapter 2, The Endless Halls. The buzzing of fluorescent lights was constant, almost alive, echoing in the yellow wallpaper corridors. The carpet squished faintly beneath my shoes, damp in places, carrying a faint scent of mildew and dust. I had been walking for what felt like hours. Corners folded into corners, hallways stretched impossibly long. No matter how many turns I took, everything looked the same. I ran my hands along the wall once, hoping for some texture to break the monotony, but the wallpaper just peeled, just slightly, revealing a sickly gray beneath. The silence was the worst part. My footsteps echoed unnaturally, as though someone or something was walking just behind me, always out of sight. Every so often, I thought I heard a shuffle in the distance, but when I froze, the sound died. Then I saw it, and out of the police stairwell, hidden in a far corner of the hallway, the metal handrail shook when I touched it, and the concrete steps were stained with something dark at the top. A dimly glowing red exit sign pulsed faintly. Hope surged in my chest. But when I reached it and pushed through the heavy door, the air shifted. I wasn't free. I had stepped into some kind of next level. Chapter 3, Pipe Dreams. The air hit me like a wall, thick, humid, metallic. I found myself in a maze of utility tunnels lined with endless rusted pipes running along the walls and ceiling. The lights were worse. Long, fluorescent bulbs that flickered and buzzed with maddening irregularity, plunging the hole into shuddering half-darkness every few seconds. The smell of rusted mold was suffocating, and every breath tasted faintly of copper. The pipes hissed occasionally, releasing bursts of steam that startled me every time. Some dripped steadily, leaving pools of stagnant water on the floor. This place, it felt alive somehow. As I moved deeper, I noticed graffiti scratched into the pipes. Symbols I didn't understand. Arrows pointing in different directions. Words scrawled in shaking handwriting. Don't trust the signs. One corridor opened into a small maintenance room. Inside, the air was cooler. A dusting desk sat against the wall, piled with scattered papers and a manila folder marked Top Secret, Project Echo. My hand shook as I opened it. Chapter 4, Project Echo. Inside was government report stamped, classified, and in faded red ink, Top Secret, Project Echo, control number 87-2047, subject, investigation in a parallel dimension and anomalous spectral phenomena. 1. In the early 1980s, Project Echo was initiated under the directive of Director J.H. Reynolds with the goal of exploring adjacent realities. 2. The subject unwillingly drawled into local schools or documented experiencing partial slips. Students vanished for hours or days only to reappear disoriented. 3. Environmental triggers included fluorescent lights, residents, specific humidity levels, and exposure to water, damaged infrastructure. The last page chilled me. Conclusion: subject relocation is not random. Structures within the alternate dimension are organized. Surveillance footage indicates multiple levels. Exploration ongoing. Extreme caution advised. Taped to the back was a blurry photo, grainy, black and white, showing a hallway almost identical to the one I had just walked through. Chapter 5, The Clue. My hands trembled as I set the file down. That's when I noticed the corner of the room. An old slide projector, half covered in dust. Against better judgment, I clicked it on. The whirl echoed through the Classroom time stamped 1983. Students sat stiffly, but the edges of the picture was rippled with distortion, like reality itself was bending. The next image, a school hallway. At the far end, a figure stood motionless, too tall, too blurred. It was all too wrong. The final slide froze my breath. Pipes, identical to the ones surrounding me now. And in the corner, scratched into the wall, in some frantic handwriting I had just seen, were the words, "You shouldn't be here." The projector clicked off on its own, and the pipes around me hissed louder. The projector clicked off. The slides were gone, but the warning stayed. "You shouldn't be here." And then I heard it, the hiss of pipes, louder, closer. Something was moving in the shadows. Something had been waiting for me. I had no choice. I had to follow the hum, and that's when I realized I wasn't just exploring anymore. I was being hunted. I don't know how far I've gone, or if I'll ever find my way out. Every hallway, every pipe, every flickering light somehow, it's all connected. And somewhere in the darkness beyond, it's still waiting. The backrooms are endless, and you shouldn't be here either.